welcome back to the Fox Strength and Performance YouTube channel. I'm Taylor Fox, and I'm once again in the cold pod and freezing cold. So I'm going to try to dip all the way down here to get most of my body in. Okay. So today is Dynamic Effort Squat Day. I finished my training session a little while back, so we had 10 sets of 2 on squat, and then I did 4 sets of stone to shoulder, one motion. I started the wave at 185, did 205 stone last week, and then went straight to 225. And the one set it was like pretty tough, so I just hit 1 rep. And then the last set, I went right shoulder, left shoulder, and then back to the right shoulder for a final rep. So 3 reps on the last one. It definitely feels like tough, but it's really just like rowing that stone hard into the chest and the belly, and then quick with the hips, which is why I like it with the dynamic effort contrast to really get the hips moving. But I really wanted to get in here again. I did some extra recovery work, injury rehab last night because my quad has been hurting. I kind of noticed it last Sunday squatting, and then I really noticed it on Wednesday deadlifting, and then after deadlifts I did the SSB with the SSB flipped upside down, so the weight's more forward on the slant board, the 1.5s. So go down, come halfway up, go back down, and then a full rep. And I could not even like get down comfortably, so I just did 1 set at 330, and I was like, I'm done with this. So really trying to work on the quad. My brachioradialis and bicep have also been acting up. I usually have some bicep issues on the right side, and I kind of have a little divot in there from training a lot of circus dumbbell and trying to figure out the circus dumbbell clean. So that comes up once in a while, and I actually generally will have some right elbow issues. I'm missing terminal extension on this elbow because I broke my elbow when I was like 4 years old. I fell down a set of stairs in North Carolina, and we had to drive all the way back to Philly to get seen, and it got infected, and I was young. It's at the joint, it's like at the growth plate, so it was very problematic, and it's just caused me a lot of issues like my whole life. Apparently I was very uncooperative with the rehab, so my parents will always kind of bring it back to that, but I'm like, hey, like I was 4, I don't know, like I would be more inclined to be cooperative with it now, but I guess that's kind of past. So I try to do some joint mobs on it and stuff to open it up a little bit more, and that usually helps and relieves the pain. And then getting my arms in here is definitely a big plus to also hit some of the inflammation in that joint. So I guess what I wanted to talk about besides getting in here, some of the modalities that I use. I'm big on cupping. I like burn my way through 1 cupping set. I still use it, but I probably like half the cups in the set cracked. So I threw those out. So then I got a second set. And when you really use it like a decent amount with the family here, like, people like to get a little soft tissue release in a certain area. So it's nice to have a bunch, like we have 2 sets, so we have more than enough to really like hit multiple people. And I'll do moving cupping as well as like just stagnant, and I still have some marks around like my low back and on my sides, and just really trying to open up like and take some tension out of the lumbar muscles, the thoracic musculature, get some thoracic mobility going, be a little more comfortable with weight overhead, and take some stress off of my back. So that's been good. And then I'm a big fan of Graston. Can't really call it Graston, so like soft tissue mobilization with tools. I have an IA STM tool, and then I have another one that's like a handheld one. I used to use like Super Pro scissors that have a little bit of an edge on the handle, and I would just use that edge to scrape out. And I noticed like over time, like I just wore that edge down, so then I was like, it's time to get like a more legit one, and the IA STM one was pretty cheap on Amazon, so I went with that. And I'll use that a lot. It's just like a bar, so I can hit the quads real nice. I can have someone do my lats. It's like really effective, and I'll even hold it with one hand and use my forearm. So I really worked on my quad and then my brachioradialis on my bicep last night. My foot's also been bothering me a little bit, which is annoying because I haven't been doing much moving work. Like I haven't been doing yoke, I haven't been doing farmers, but I generally will get some big toe problems. So just working on my plantar fascia with a lacrosse ball, working on my toe mobility, and trying to kind of get everything stretched out and moving. Mobilizing the ankles is a big one. So I spent some time doing that last night. I have like Voltaren gel. I'll layer that on, and then either BioFreeze or we have another menthol-based cream that's pretty helpful. And then it's just about like prep work and recovery. So I'm doing this. I'll do like joint mobs with the bands. Um, I feel like the dynamic effort stuff. So I've been doing a lot of jumps. Really acclimates and gets like the joints ready for a little bit more pounding and impact work. So like that's not like therapeutic off the bat, but like gradually implementing that in. Like I do that twice a week, and I feel like that really does acclimate the joints. So then like when you're doing the dynamic effort stuff and try to move a little bit faster, you are a little bit more prepped and you're a little bit more primed. Um, I did 40 pounds, or no, sorry, 80 pounds of chains on squats today. And the reason I use chains is because I actually just got them, and I've been very excited to do a little bit more chain work. And then I felt like with the overspeed eccentrics of the bands, that would have bothered my quad more than I would have liked. So it made sense to go with the chains as the accommodating resistance, especially since it's my first week putting accommodating resistance back in. I felt like it was a little bit overboard to go with some band resistance. So I'm going to roll with the chains for a little bit, and we'll eventually get back to bands or bands and chains. But we're on week 4, so I'm really trying to be a little bit more patient than I have in the past. So I really like to do some goofy setups, get a lot of like stuff on the bar, and make things really difficult and intense. But sometimes you get a little overboard, and then all of a sudden you're on a 6 week wave, but week 3 you're already kind of at the top end of where you can be with the bar weight, with the accommodating resistance. You don't have anywhere else to progress. So I'm trying to leave some room open and kind of work on some different things. I was doing 4 second pauses, so now I'm doing 2 second pauses and trying to kind of work on the time under tension before I go into just like traditional dynamic effort. It's been a tough week. I feel like it's been forever since I last did this session, so it's been a long week. Um, you know, trying to get wins here. Definitely been waking up feeling like not recovered, a little sick, but not like sick to the point where I can't move or function. So I'm hanging in there, which is good. Definitely something I guess I'll talk about. NFL playoffs this weekend, and it's been cool, like watching some of the games. But I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and it's been miserable this last stretch of the season, and I had really high hopes for the. That's my timer, by the way. I had high hopes for the season, and then we kind of like have dropped the ball on it, and things just haven't come together. Um, but the one thing, like, I see people getting so miserable about it, and it's like I hate it, and like I don't get a lot out of watching the games because we're not playing well, and we've lost a bunch of them, and then I'm just miserable after. But you also have to like look at it's your own life and your own success, and just kind of like try to move on and get the wins that you can get, because you can't control what other people are doing. You can't control what professional athletes do and their attitude towards everything. Like, it would be nice if AJ Brown wasn't hurt, if he wasn't, talking a lot and like ruled out for the next game. Like, it would be nice if we win and he plays, but like that's a lot of stuff you don't have a factor and you don't have any control over. So trying to stress out about that to the point that you don't get to your own stuff is a little crazy. So I've been stressed, just trying to lock in and really concentrate on my own things and like moving forward and getting better. Okay, well, until next time, have a great Sunday. Have a great week. Enjoy the games and keep on crushing it. Hold strong.